It's the third place game of the 2020 Raymond James Hall of Fame Classic. Tonight, as we greet you from Newcastle High School and the Newcastle Fieldhouse, the largest and finest high school fieldhouse in all of the country. Tonight, it's the Barr-Reeve Vikings, ranked number 1 in Class A basketball, taking on the Blackford Bruins, ranked 3rd in 2A basketball, as they'll battle for the third place trophy here this evening. Hi, everyone, and a Happy New Year. I'm Rob Blackman. So nice to have you with us here on this cool evening in Newcastle, Indiana. What a matchup we have for you tonight between two of the state's best. My broadcast partner this evening is longtime Indiana high school basketball coach Pete Smith. And Coach Smith, a Happy New Year to you and your family. I hope you're doing well in this, what's been a very trying 2020 year.
Well, thank you. I haven't. It's been a very trying year, but it's great to be here in Newcastle tonight.
And great to have high school basketball, especially this specific event. Yes, there was some give and take to make sure that this event could happen this year because of COVID-19 restrictions. 20% capacity is what it will be capped off at tonight. Just from looking around the gym, it certainly appears that we'll be at that 20% number for certain. But I bring this up because when it comes to events, especially around Christmas time in the state of Indiana and high school basketball, you probably want to put this one at the top of the list, the Hall of Fame Classic. Coach, you know it. You've been around Indiana high school basketball for a long, long time. This event, if you get an invite for it, you are coming because everyone wants to be a part of this event.
It's very selective to get chosen to be able to play in this outstanding field every year. Had an outstanding girls tournament yesterday, always the day before. But it's quite an honor to play in the Hall of Fame Classic. It can be a gauge. It used to be almost a jinx. Teams that would win the Hall of Fame Classic come out here and wouldn't do well in the state tournament after having a great tournament here because, you know, speaking as a coach, you try to prep your team to get ready for the state championships, but this tournament means so much because of our state of Indiana and the Hall of Fame being right here.
And we have some big-time teams lined up for you tonight. The championship game, which immediately follows this one, has Fort Wayne Blackhawk taking on Shenandoah. But first things first, this third-place matchup between Barr-Reeve and Blackford. Let's talk about the Barr-Reeve Vikings, Coach. 6-2 on the season. They've lost twice. Both games have been in overtime. Losing in overtime at 4A Carmel last week, 57-55. Certainly no shame in that. And then losing in overtime earlier here today, 75-66 to Fort Wayne Blackhawk, who, by the way, is ranked number 1 in 2A basketball, so no shame in that either. You look at this Barr-Reeve team, Coach. They're 6-2. Both of their losses in overtime to a competition that plays in a class higher, or in Carmel's case, 3 classes higher. Barr-Reeve's this close to being 8-0. They're a really good team.
They are very good. I saw that Carmel game, and they controlled most of that game against Carmel, but couldn't quite hold on at the end. Carmel had a player come in off the JV game and score 16 points, Sam Orm. But they're coming off a game today, went overtime, as you mentioned, Rob. They were 14-28 from three-point range in the morning game. They're an outstanding team from the aspect of their shot selection. They take great shots. They usually don't take bad shots, and that's why they can play with anyone in the state and beat anyone in the state. They could be just as easily 8-0 on the year.
And they do have a high-level talent in Kurt Hoth, their 6'9" senior, who's already signed with Bellarmine University. He had 16 points and 8 rebounds in their game earlier today, averaging right at 20 a contest. Hoth is a legit ball player in this state.
I really respect him. Last year he did not play due to transferring from Forest Park High School after his sophomore campaign. And this year he's really making some teams play. The other person on that team I really love is their point guard, Bryson Graber. Doesn't score a lot of points, but is one of the top assist men in the state. Today he had 11 in the afternoon game in the overtime loss. So they've just got their very well-rounded team.
They're coached by Josh Thompson in his 3rd season at Barr-Reeve. On the other bench, it's the Blackford Bruins. They suffered their first loss of the season earlier today when they were beaten by Shenandoah. They, too, lost in overtime. Blackford, as I said, 6-1 on the year. And, man, do they have an outstanding scorer by the name of Luke Brown, the 6'2" senior, averaging 33 points a game this year. He had 40 in the overtime loss earlier this afternoon.
He was tremendous this afternoon, 17-26 from the field, 5 of 10 from three-point range. And he did pass out 4 assists. He averages almost 7 assists a game, too. He's the total package, and if this is your first opportunity to see him play, you're going to really enjoy him because he can do everything. He's got a strong teammate in Landon Grimes. Landon had a double-double earlier today, 16 points and 11 rebounds, and Landon is a 6'5 senior. So they're the big two for the Bruins.
They are coached by Grant Newland. That's an interesting story. Coach Newland, a first-year head coach. He didn't think he was going to be the head coach this year. The veteran Jerry Hoover would be the head coach of Blackford, but COVID-19 has Coach Hoover on the sideline this year. He doesn't have COVID-19. Let me be more specific about that. But for safety purposes, Coach Hoover is not coaching this season, so Grant Newland gets a chance to step in and coach the third-ranked team in 2A basketball.
Yeah. That's right into the fire as a head coach. But,
right.
But Coach Hoover had him trained, I'm sure. Believe me.
We are ready to tip it off. Third-place game of the Raymond James Hall of Fame Classic. The Barr-Reeve Vikings and the Blackford Bruins. Barr-Reeve in the white unis tonight, and they win the tip thanks to the high jumping ability of the 6'9 Kurt Hof. And we are officially underway as Blackford opens up in the half-court man-to-man defense. A 3 from straight away is how we will start this game. Missed by Bryson Graber and rebounded by the Blackford Bruins. And here comes Blackford with their first offensive possession.
They play straight man, typically do not switch anything. This is my second or third game this year, I believe I've covered them this year.
They get the ball down inside to the Bruins, and we'll have our first turnover of the game, however. A traveling violation as a ball was thrown down inside. They did a good job of moving the ball around the perimeter. They threw it down inside to Landon Grimes, but Grimes pulled the pivot foot for a turnover.
Yeah, Landon's the only real inside force they're going to have on the floor. They're pretty much 4 guards and Landon out there.
Landon at 6'5". They had 12 turnovers in their overtime loss earlier today as Hof goes all the way to the rim but wipe off the basket. It's an early foul on Kurt Hof as he's called for charging.
Nice half-court defensive possession there by Blackford. They moved their feet very well and took the charge.
Hof spinning to the basket but a little bit out of control. The first foul of the game whistled against the 6'9 senior Hof, who is headed to Bellarmine University in Louisville for college basketball next season. Here's Luke Brown, number 25. Keep a close eye on this guy. He can go. He'll pull up from 18 feet, and there he is. Luke Brown opens the scoring.
Just as he did today, shooting the ball very well all season.
Boy, he has been fun to watch during his 4-year career. Here's a 3 at the other end as Hof answers for Barr-Reeve. It's 3-3.
Even though he's 6'9 and plays inside the majority of the time, he's got a very good three-point shot.
But let me correct myself, 3-2. That bucket a moment ago by Brown was inside of the three-point arc, easily inside of the 3. So 3-2, and here is contact, and here's a charging foul. This one will go against Jackson Wars, the freshman for Blackford.
Yeah, that was a set play that came off a double screen and drove the baseline and just led with that shoulder. We've got Trent Fine making that call along with Dan Morgan, one of the officials there, and we got Stu down there in the baseline, Stu Casper. So those are our 3 officials, all veteran IHSAA officials.
3-2 the score. Barr-Reeve the early lead. They shot the 3-ball well earlier today in the semifinal game, and here's a nice little left-handed turnaround hook for Hof. He has all 5 of Barr-Reeve's points, and it's 5-2 Vikings.
Yeah, it's obvious. Other than the shot that Graber took to open the game, they're going to try to get Hof established there. He's got such a size advantage on the Bruins squad. There's that double screen again, this time for Luke Brown.
He will pull from deep, and that ball is missed. Weak side rebound is tipped out of bounds. Last touch by the Bruins, and it'll be Barr-Reeve basketball. Luke Brown headed to Stetson University, is signed with the Hatters to play his college basketball there. He's been a 4-year starter for Blackford, and he's been a high-volume scorer all 4 seasons.
Boy, they're getting a great player, too. I mean, this young man, the career he's had already and still has half a season to go has been tremendous. 3-ball
in the corner is no good. Hof is hustling after it but can't catch up to it. Excellent hustle by Hof trying to grab a weak side rebound. That shot, by the way, was missed by Devin Graber, the 6'5 senior, 6'1 senior, I should say. He wears number 30. He and Caden Graber and Bryson Graber all share the same last name. Only Caden and Bryson, however, are brothers. Here's the 3, right wing. In and out, no good. Missed by Maxwell Wars of Blackford. transition quickly into Hope on the block. Will they double? No, he'll kick it out. 3 on the way from the right wing. That is a bucket. Nice shot there by Caden Graber. I was just talking about him. He played off the bench in the first game today, had 16 points. Tonight he's in the starting lineup, and he gives Barr-Reeve an 8-2 lead.
Yeah, this is his first start of the season also.
Here's a 3 at the other end, missed by Blackford, rebounded by Hope. That shot attempted there by Jack Wars, and here come the Vikings on the attack offensively. All the way to the rim will have a foul, and that will send Barr-Reeve to the free throw line. As a strong take to the rim by Devin Graber will put the senior at the charity stripe.
Devin had a great game against Carmel. He's averaging 6 points on the year, but was double figures against Carmel last weekend.
He was also double figures earlier today, 13 points. In the loss earlier this afternoon, he made 3 threes. As Devin Graber makes the first free throw. Making it 9-2, all Barr-Reeve early on. He misses the second free throw, however. The only scoring for Blackford, an 18-footer from the left wing from Luke Brown. It's a 9-0 run currently for the Barr-Reeve Vikings. Brown wants to drive. Gets into the teeth of the defense, dumps it to a teammate, and that shot is blocked. Excellent defense, and then it's going to be a foul, unfortunately. You cannot fault the effort of Hagen Knepp. He got the original block shot, and then as he was hustling after loose ball, he's called for the foul.
Yeah, he's real scrappy. We get a good look here. Good block shot there. He saved it, but then at the same time when he came back in the play, it was inadvertent contact, but it's a foul.
The junior Hagen Knepp at 6'4", whistled for the foul. Each team has committed 2 fouls in the early going, and there is Luke Brown from deep. A triple for Brown, and it's 9-5.
Outstanding range by the young man. Oh, good back pick's going to be a layup right there.
And it is. Hope, you're right. Good call, Coach. You saw it from up here, our vantage point. Back screening for Hope. He has a lob and a catch for a layup, and already 7 early points for Kurt Hof.
Pretty much the fast break Barr-Reeve runs will have 5 guys on the outside, but he'll get a back screen to get him back to the bucket. And there's Brown again.
Boy, how about his quick catch and fire? That ball was only in his hands for milliseconds, and he let it fly. Nothing but net. 11-8, Barr-Reeve in front. 3:30 to play here in this opening quarter in Newcastle. Third place game of the Hall of Fame Classic brought to you by Raymond James, and that ball's tipped out of bounds. Possession belongs to Blackford.
And Bryson Graber got a little bit too deep there. Didn't think he had the shot. He normally is a pass-first guard when he drives and does a great job at it, but that time he got a little bit too deep and got it tossed off a teammate.
Luke Brown has scored all 8 of Blackford's points. He crossover dribble, shoots a floater, banker right wing, missed it. Weak side rebound by a teammate, however, put it up and in.
Landon.
Well done.
Landon Grimes, a 6'5 senior with her first bucket of the contest.
Averaging 16 a game is Grimes, and now just like that, it's 11-10 Barr-Reeve as Grimes was there to clean up the missed shot by Luke Brown. Under 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. Rob Blackman and Pete Smith with you tonight in Newcastle. Oh, that's a nice drive and a left-handed finish by Hagen Knepp. His first scoring of the game. He averages 13 a contest.
Barr-Reeve's got so much more depth compared to Blackford. I mean, they all can score. They've all had really good games this year at one time or another, where Blackford's kind of just got 2 major scorers, but one of them is arguably one of the best players in the state of Indiana.
Here's Hope running to the other end, and he will dunk with 2 hands as Blackford was slow getting back on defense, and now it's 15-10. And here's a block shot.
Graber.
Blocked by Graber, or blocked by Knepp, I should say.
That was Bryson. that was Bryson Graber on that one, 22.
Too many Grabers in the lineup for Mr. Blackman here. 15-10, 2 minutes to play opening quarter.
Okay, double high screen usually, and someone will go to the block, but there it goes. They're a little late getting to the block, so he didn't get a chance to. Hope on that left block.
That's Bryson Graber, 22, throwing it right wing to Hayden Knepp, 34. Now Caden Graber, who wears 10 to Hope. 1:45 remaining in the first quarter. 15-10. Here's a drive and a shot missed up and no good. Good take by Bryson Graber. Couldn't finish. However, the loose ball rebound ends up in the hands of the Barr-Reeve Vikings.
Nice patience. Got a good look there. Nailed it.
Hagen Knepp. He has 5 points. The southpaw with a triple left wing. 18-10. Barr-Reeve leading.
They just have good continuity in their offense. They don't take bad shots normally. They don't turn the ball over normally, and that's why they're such a tough team to beat, and will be a tough out in the tournament.
Brown, step back, deep three, lets it fly. Missed it off the back of the orange. Rebounded by Hope of Barr-Reeve. Under a minute remaining. Here come the Vikings. Three from the corner on the way. Missed it off the front of the rim, and what hustle by Hope. He got an offensive rebound, but then lost it. Luke Brown has it in transition. It's a 2-on-2. Kick it to the right wing. Three on the way. In and out, no good, and this one is rebounded by Barr-Reeve's number 22, Bryson Graber. As Barr-Reeve says, let's slow the pace here for the moment. Yeah, Vikings leading 18-10.
Excuse me, Rob. For two teams that played earlier this morning, they sure aren't slowing down the pace. They've really gone at it here this first quarter.
And you think about Barr-Reeve, they only played 7 players in that first game today. So might fatigue be a concern later on in this ball game?
I would say yes. 10. I would say yes.
Right, yeah. Oh, and here's a steal. Takeaway by Blackford. Excellent defense by Maxwell Wars to give Blackford the possession. 3 at the other end won't go. Rebounded weak side by Caden Graber. Barr-Reeve's got to hurry. Game clock is at 4. A running jumper from the right wing is missed. No good by Hagan Knepp. And that is how we will end the first quarter. 18-10. Barr-Reeve the lead. They went on a 9-0 scoring run after trailing 2-0 to go up 9-2. They're up 18-10 as the first quarter draws to a close. You are watching the 2020 Boys Raymond James Hall of Fame Classic on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
Water, you're going to want to look for weeds, sunken structures, down trees, stuff like that. And let that breeze tell you where you want to go. Windy days like this, those bait fish will come swimming closer to shore. They'll bring the big boys with them, those bass and those pike. Now, they like cooler temperatures, so you ain't likely to have much luck.
You're good at giving fishing advice. We're good at your insurance. Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.
Well, the 2 stars have not disappointed through the first 8 minutes. Kurt Hof, the Bellarmine signee, has 9 first quarter points. Blackford's Luke Brown at 33 points a game has 8 first quarter points. It's 18-10, Barr-Reeve leading over Blackford.
Neither team has really mixed up anything defensively, just playing the straight man-to-man defense, and it was a good first quarter. Both teams got some good looks at the basket, few turnovers, but overall just a solid action there.
Barr-Reeve has subbed here at the quarter break. They brought in Jamison Miller, who started earlier today but's coming off the bench in this game tonight, the 6-foot senior. He wears number 24. And Scott Winger, number 34 for Blackford, a 6'2 junior, has subbed into the game. So both coaches do go to their bench at their quarter break after the starters played the first 8 minutes of the opening quarter. And here is a lost ball right through the fingertips of Luke Brown. That's a Blackford turnover.
Tommy Kidwell also checked in during that quarter break, number 40, and he's a good guy off the bench for him. He averages 6.
And there's a good guy to shoot the ball, Hagan Knepp. His second 3 of the game makes it 21-10, Barr-Reeve in front.
Good double team there to get the ball out of Luke Brown's hands.
He has 8 of his team's 10 points. 21-10, Barr-Reeve leading early here in the second quarter at the Raymond James Hall of Fame Classic. This is the third place game with Shenandoah and Fort Wayne Blackhawk Christian to follow.
Oh, good crossover.
And he missed the 3 from the corner, however, did Luke Brown. Boy, he has some great moves off the dribble, but could not make the shot. Here's another 3 from the left wing. This one is left short.
Yeah, that was Jamison Miller,
who had just subbed in at that last dead ball, and before Brown can score the basket in transition, a foul is called on the floor. Bryson Graber about to sub back in for Barr-Reeve, and they're also going to bring in number 44 are the Barr-Reeve Vikings. This is Tyson Knepp, a 6'2 senior who rarely plays, but he's into the game here now. With Barr-Reeve leading 21-10. Again, maybe fatigue is something that head coach Josh Thompson is concerned about as he's going deep to the bench here early in the second quarter.
Well, also in a consolation type game, it does make a coach, speaking from experience, get some guys in sometimes that don't normally play. And there's a layup right there by Bryson Graber on the turnover by the Blackford Bruins.
Turnover leads to a run out and a layup, now 23-10. Blackford had 12 turnovers in that semifinal game earlier today, And they are turning the ball over at a clip I'm sure they're not happy with here in this consolation game. That was a pick six that led to the run out there for the Vikings. As this runner is missed, and a rebound in traffic there by Knepp. Again, in off the bench, Tyson Knepp playing for Barr-Reeve. He wears 44. This is him with the ball here. 2 minutes gone by. Second quarter. Barr-Reeve had an early 9-2 lead. They're now ahead 23-10.
They're going to be real patient right now, especially with Hope out of the game. It's a good look for a three. No good there.
Missed by Thomas Kidwell.
He drained a couple in the Carmel game last week for him. Boy, they've had quite a schedule this year. They've played some really good opponents here, including the Hall of Fame Classic.
And this is traveling, another Blackford turnover. This one against Dawson Hundley. The 6-foot sophomore is right now. Blackford just can't get out of their own way with the turnovers.
You are right there, partner. They're desperate for a basket, and they need something here to get them off the schneid here.
Yeah, you're just talking about Barr-Reeve's schedule. How about it? Losing at Carmel. 1A said we'll take a game at 4A Carmel and played him to an overtime game before losing to the Greyhounds.
And led most of that contest.
His three straight away is nothing but the bottom of the net. Thomas Kidwell, the senior, in off of the bench, makes it 26-10.
It's not really contesting those 3-point shots. They're patient, about 2 or 3 reversals, and there's another Blackford turnover.
Oh, the turnovers are just killing the Bruins right now. Barr-Reeve with the ball and the lead. We've played 3 minutes of the second quarter. Good ball movement here by Barr-Reeve. They are being patient, as well they should, with a 16-point lead.
Blackford staying in front of the ball pretty well. It's just they've given up a lot of open 3-point shots.
Hesitation drive. Yeah. That was a good drive. The shot was missed, however, by Bryson Graber, and then he committed the sin of trying to get back a missed layup and went over the back and fouled. A foul against Graber. 4th foul against the Barr-Reeve Vikings.
The scary thing, Rob, is that Bryson Graber has not shot the ball very well this year. 2 of 12 in the game this morning. Today he's already missed 3 shots here early in the game. And Bryson, if he gets his shooting going, that's just going to be an added benefit to the Vikings.
He is a 67% 3-point shooter on the season. That's an amazing number, but hasn't attempted a lot. As that is a bucket that will stop the bleeding momentarily. Max Wars, the senior, scoring for Blackford, his first scoring of the game.
Averages 6 on the season. Had 8 in the game earlier today against Shenandoah.
And a timeout taken by Barr-Reeve as their head coach, Josh Thompson, wants to talk about it. Well, you look at Barr-Reeve, there's one thing they don't do, it's turn the ball over. They're only averaging 8 turnovers a game on the season. They had only 6 turnovers in that earlier loss today to Fort Wayne Blackhawk Christian. They do an excellent job of taking care of the basketball. The same cannot be said for Blackford, who's been a fairly decent team this year when it comes to turning the ball over. 9.8 turnovers per game, but today they had 12 turnovers in their loss to Shenandoah. And in this game here in the second quarter, they have had multiple possessions where they haven't even gotten a look at the basket because they've given the ball away.
Yeah, fatigue sometimes does that to you when you played a game earlier. You get a little bit sloppy with the basketball. They've had a great year so far, 6-1 going into this game. Had a big win last weekend down at New Albany. Traveled all the way down there to Jim Shannon's program and beat the Bulldogs. The Battle of the Bulldogs Bruins last week. Great win.
71-70 was the final in that one. How about a little half-court trapping pressure here from Blackford, trying to change things up defensively?
I like the idea. Hopf came in on the exchange after the timeout and worked on that possession. Got a stop.
Kidwell had an open 3 but didn't make it, and then a foul at the other end, and uber-aggressive Luke Brown getting all the way to the basket, and that'll send Brown to the free throw line. That's where you do not want him if you root for Barr-Reeve. Coming into the day, Luke Brown, a 96% free throw shooter. 44 of 46. He's only missed 2 all year coming into today. And he made that one look easy. 9 points for the Stetson signee, Luke Brown.
Thought you were going to jinx him there for a second there, Rob.
He's too good for me to jinx him.
He can't hear. We're up pretty high today. Not our normal perch here at the Hall of Fame because of safety regulations. Completely understand. We're up at the top.
10 points for Luke Brown. And again, they're going to stay in their half-court trap here, are the Blackford Bruins. Try to pick up the pace a little bit here. 26-14. Barr-Reeve the lead. They'll get another open look from the corner against this zone defense. This time they will not miss. That is number 44. Who was that?
That's Tyson Knepp, 44.
I was going to say Knepp. Yeah, that was Knepp. Again, rarely plays, but he's in the game tonight, and he immediately gives him.
I'm sorry, I think I was 24. That's Jamison Miller.
Gotcha.
That drained that one.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Jamison Miller, who normally starts, came off the bench here tonight. Oh, you got to get the ball stopped. You're letting Graber get too far down there defensively. Makes the extra pass. 2 in a row for him.
Yes, sir. You called it perfectly. Jamison Miller, back-to-back triples for the 6-foot senior, makes it 32-14.
Starting to slip away a little bit on Blackford. They need to be patient, get a good shot up here.
How about Miller averages 4 points a game? He has 6. Thanks to the last 2 shots he has taken. Brown on a straight line drive, lays it up and in.
Boy, he saw that seam there, not seam, but he saw that right side clear like the party in the sea, and nobody on the Barr-Reeve weak side came over to take a charge or even stop the ball there.
Under 2 minutes to go in the first half, 32-16 Barr-Reeve.
Now a 2-3 zone. They went out of the trap and they're in a 2-3 zone. Barr-Reeve could just hold it. I mean, they've got a 16-point lead. No need to take a quick shot.
Blackford started.
It's going to be a dunk lob try.
And he catches and scores, he being Kurt Hof. So even against the zone, they're able to throw the ball inside to the 6'9" Hof.
Yeah,
now it's 34-16. And here's a foul on a 3-point shooter. Luke Brown will be going to the free throw line as he was fouled just outside of the top of the key from about 21 feet away. The foul against Hagen Knepp.
Yeah, he did a good job of seeing the fact that he had the player off his feet, so he knew any kind of shot, as long as he could get it up, was going to draw a foul there. He's just so his ball fakes are just so incredible. His skill sets are very throwbackish. Take that the right way if you're listening. He plays the game like the game was originally meant to be played, fundamentally sound, and he does it with so much quickness that he gets that shot up in the pocket fast. He's got good ball fakes. His footwork's good, and that's why he's having such an outstanding career and done great things for Blackford High School.
He has scored 14 points in this game, and with his free throw, he now has 15. He made 5 threes in the semifinal game earlier today. He's made 2 threes so far tonight, and he brings his team within 15 at 34-19, and now looks like Blackford has gone to a 3-2 zone defense.
1-2 zone. It'll look when it flattens out as a 3-2, but the baseline, when you've got 3 guys up at the top, the baseline is the vulnerable area, and good job by Barr-Reeve of finding it.
Yeah, that's where Devin Graber got open, Coach. Good call by you. That baseline for a layup, making it 36-19 as we're under 1 minute to play in the first half here in Newcastle. They throw it down inside. They're going to challenge Hope, and they're not going to have a chance to challenge him because traveling is called against Blackford.
A little bit more height than Luke or Landon Grimes normally sees. He's been a big key for this team all year. He averages 16.5 and 9.5 boards, but only with 2 points so far. Now we're back to the 1-2-2. They're going to try to trap out of it, a soft trap, just to see if they can keep the ball away from the basket. Barr-Reeve may just wait for the last shot here as we're under 35 seconds.
36-19 the score. Vikings the lead and the basketball. And they certainly look content to hold for the final shot as we go under 20 seconds to play here.
Blackford's got a couple fouls to give if they wanted to give here in the first half.
They've only fouled twice, have the Bruins as a team. Oh, they're going to get a steal. Even better for them. They'll get a steal, but the layup is missed at the other end by Cam Elam. Barr-Reeve's going to have a chance. 5 seconds on the clock. This shot is up and no good. Hof rebounds and count the basket, and a foul as well. So they're going to have an and one opportunity as the horn goes to 0.0. Boy, what a disastrous change of events here for
They're going to talk it over.
Blackford.
Yeah. Miller got the shot up and hope for the offensive rebound. Question is, they're going to talk it over.
Yes, the
basket
basket counts.
Yeah.
Yes, they will. The official going to the scores table announces the basket is good, and we will have one untimed free throw shot here for Kurt Hove, who will make the free throw. Man, what a change of events.
Yeah.
Cam Elam had a steal in the open court, could not convert on the layup, so Barr-Reeve races to the other end and gets an and one from Kurt Hove, and it's been all Barr-Reeve in the first 16 minutes. The Vikings have doubled up the Blackford Bruins as they lead 38-19 here at halftime at the Newcastle Fieldhouse. 38-19 our score. Barr-Reeve leads Blackford. We'll pause for a moment. When we come back, we'll talk about what we've seen in the first 16 minutes. You're watching the 2020 Boys Raymond James Hall of Fame Classic on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
Inspired by touch, by play, by listening and laughter. Inspired by family gatherings and one-on-one conversations. Inspired by long walks, long lives, and lives simply lived well. Inspired by compassion, by healing, by grace and strength. What inspires us at Franciscan Health is you. Franciscan Health, inspiring health.
This is a great path because all you have to do is know how to work with your hands. And you can learn that on the job every day.
There's some self-satisfaction in building a building and driving by it for the next 30 years and telling your children that you built that building.
I have a pension and I have job security.
In fact, you actually make money while you're going to school.
College might be for some people. College is definitely not for me.
Having that stability has really changed my life.
It's 2 p.m. Saturday afternoon. You have two choices. Option 1, take 2 nanoseconds to reach over and put on your seatbelt. Or option 2, decide it's too much work for a Saturday and don't put on your seatbelt. As the seatbelt alarm continues to sing the song of its people, you roll your eyes. You're just going down the block, you'll be fine. You take a turn to the left and that's when you see it.
Just wear your seatbelt. It's an easy way to save your own life. The Indiana Criminal Justice Institute wants to remind you that choices matter. Click it to live it.
Halftime of the Newcastle Fieldhouse. This is the Raymond James Hall of Fame Classic third place game between the number 1 ranked team in Class A basketball, the Barr-Reeve Vikings, who have a 38-19 halftime lead over the Blackford Bruins. Blackford ranked third in Class 2A basketball coming into the day. The two stars have played like stars we thought they would. Kurt Hope, the 6'9 senior for Barr-Reeve, who is headed to Bellarmine University. 14 first-half points, including an and one on the final play of the first half. And for Blackford, Luke Brown has not disappointed. 15 points for him, 5 made free throws. He's 5 of 5 at the line. He's also made 2 threes. And Brown, who had 40 points in the semifinals earlier in the afternoon, has 15, Coach, here in the first half of this one.
I know that sounds like a lot, but Barr-Reeve has thrown double traps or double teams at him and trapped a lot to get the ball out of his hands. But whenever he sees a one-on-one opportunity, he has pretty much scored the ball or drawn a foul. And, Blackford just has to have more help for Luke. So far, only Landon Grimes with 2 and Max Wars with 2. They've got to get more scoring.
Yeah, it's not as if they don't have capable players. Grimes averages 16 a game. Jack Wars at 13 a game. So they do have guys that have provided help for Brown in the season. They just haven't provided it here in the first half, at least not to this point. Something I want to talk about, we hit on it briefly in the first half. Barr-Reeve playing essentially 7 players in the first game today. Really, they played 6. One of their guys that played off the bench played all of 3 minutes. So they basically went with a 6-man rotation in that first game today. Their overtime loss to Fort Wayne Blackhawk Christian. What we've seen Josh Thompson doing here in this game, Coach Smith, at least in the first half, rotating some fresh bodies in there. One has to think that he's obviously concerned about some conditioning and the fact that his guys played a lot of minutes that first game earlier today.
No, good, very good points. Yeah, they normally don't rotate more than 2 guys in the game. Miller usually starts today. Caden Graber got the start tonight, I should say, and then Tommy Kidwell. That's pretty much their iron 7, and they went with him the whole first half. We did see Tyson Knepp for just about a minute in the game, but the depth is really, going to be a question mark for them as they get into tournament play when you're playing at the regional level where you've got 2 games in a day. And this is a great practice opportunity for that.
As we look at some of the halftime numbers, turnovers were a real bugaboo for the Blackford Bruins, although I got to tell you, Coach, as I'm looking at the official stats that have been presented to us, these are from the first quarter only. I was going to say they only had Blackford listed for 2 turnovers. That was first quarter only. I did not get the updated halftime numbers. I can promise you that number is way higher than 2 because they turned the – do you have the halftime numbers? You have first quarter as well.
I think you gave us 2 first quarter.
Yeah, you have the same as I. I'll be interested when they bring us the updated stats just to see how many turnovers Blackford had in that second quarter, and more importantly, the points off of turnovers, where, of course, that's always the biggest number. It's one thing, as you know, Coach Smith, if you turn the ball over by kicking it up into the stands, that's one thing. At least you can set your defense. But if you give them a pick 6, which we saw multiple times in the second quarter, you're just making life too easy for Barr-Reeve.
Yeah, live ball turnovers are really bad. Dead ball turnovers, you can get back and at least set your defense. You're absolutely right. When I have teams similar to Blackford where maybe they're struggling scoring other than Luke Brown, I used to tell them a bad shot's better than no shot.
Yeah.
At least we have a chance for an offensive rebound or a 50-50 ball chance opportunity. But they made a lot of live ball turnovers, and Barr-Reeve, made some baskets with them.
The other thing we saw in the first half, Pete Smith, I don't know that Blackford has an answer for Kurt Hope. At 6'9", he's the tallest player on the floor, the senior for the Barr-Reeve Vikings. And in that first half, it seemed at will when Barr-Reeve wanted to throw the ball inside, they easily got the ball inside, regardless of the defense that Blackford was throwing out there.
Yeah, this game was at 11-10 at one time.
Right.
It was an 11-10 contest, and Hope's got a little bit of time, like you mentioned. He got a little bit of pine time in the second quarter to rest a little bit, but pretty much any time they wanted to be patient, they found him on a lob play. He picked and popped and dropped a 3 earlier in the game. So they don't really have an answer. Their biggest player, Blackford's, is Landon Grimes, and he is 6'5", but he's a thinner 6'5", and Kurt Hope has a really nice body. It's going to do great things for Bellarmine, who is moving to the Division I level. This is their first year in NCAA Division I, so people may say, why is he going to Bellarmine? Well, some people don't realize the Kentucky school now is playing Division I basketball.
Located in Louisville, not that far, quite frankly, from Barr-Reeve, located in southern Indiana. And a really good find, certainly, for Bellarmine to get a player of Kurt Hope's caliber. Again, 6'9". He's a good free throw shooter, 73% on the season, averaging 19.9 and 9.6 rebounds a game. Also has 5 blocks. He shoots 65% from the floor. He's been as good as advertised tonight. And on the other side, Luke Brown has been as well for Blackford. We will take a break. Second half action when we come back. It's halftime here at Newcastle. 39-19. Barr-Reeve leads Blackford. As we take a break, you're watching the 2020 Boys Raymond James Hall of Fame Classic on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
Lisa, the fudge tonight is not up to par. It will not be on this table. Craig, you get to go on the field with your son during halftime, and that's great. But you are working the bake sale right now. Let me make this clear. The junior varsity girls will be wearing new uniforms this season, or there will be dues to pay. Now let's sell some cookies.
You're good at running the bake sale. We're good at your insurance. Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.
In addition to Pacers basketball, my family's a big fan of 2 things: rescue dogs and great Connecticut water. So when we adopted Walter to join Bailey, he too gets his bowl of water right from our Connecticut K5 drinking water station. We take our water quality seriously, which is why we also have a whole home water treatment system. Improve your water like we do. Visit ConnecticutIndy.com for your free in-home water test. Connecticut, official sponsor of the Indiana Pacers.
Hi, I'm Matt Wolford, president of the IHSAA Foundation, and we need your help. We need your help so the youth of our community can develop advanced leadership skills. We need your help giving high school administrators and coaches the instruction and insight they need to be better role models and teachers. To learn more or to make a tax-deductible contribution, go to ihsaafoundation.org. You'll not only be contributing to the foundation of the IHSAA, you'll be contributing to the foundation of our community.
Rob Blackman and Pete Smith, thanking you for joining us tonight. Consolation game of the Raymond James Hall of Fame Classic here in Newcastle, where the score is 39-19 as we start the second half in favor of Barr-Reeve. Just a quick note, we did have a scoring correction. As we went to half, the score was 38-19, but they had forgot to count that final free throw with no time on the clock at the end of the half for Kurt Hof. So that now has been added to the official score, and the score is now correct at 39-19. We also have been given the updated halftime stats. 7 first-half turnovers for Blackford. 5 of those came in the second quarter, and it led to 10 points off of turnovers for Barr-Reeve. And quite frankly, Coach Smith, that's a big part of the game right there.
Yeah, you can look at that and say that's what's caused this spread to occur, a 20-point lead here at halftime.
Jamison Miller, 9 first-half points.
Maybe a wake-up call for him, Rob. Yeah, he had 3 threes. Originally, we had Knepp down for one of those threes, but it was actually Jamison Miller. So came off the bench. Let's see. He is not going to get the call here in the second half. So
he was moved to the bench for this game after being a starter earlier today, and he has responded, the senior, by making 3 3-point baskets, 9 points for Jamison Miller from Barr-Reeve. Ready to start the third quarter. Barr-Reeve will have the basketball. In the white uniforms tonight, the Blackford Bruins in the red. And let's see what Blackford's going to do defensively here. Well, it's going to get Hope open underneath the basket no matter what, and a foul whistled against Blackford's Maxwell Wars. I couldn't even get the sentence out of my mouth about what defensively Blackford might try, and it didn't matter because they still got the ball easily inside to Kurt Hope.
No, that's a patented play. Barr-Reeve runs a lot to start the quarter. They set a staggered double for Graber, and then Hope will roll down to the basket and will get the wing pass to make down. He got a little bit too low there, but he got bailed out with the foul on the play.
And he now has 15 points, make it 16 to go along with 5 rebounds. Hope had 16 and 8 in the first game today, 16 and 5 here in game number 2, and we've still got a long way to go. 41-19, the Vikings of Barr-Reeve out of the Blue Chip Conference leading. Here's a spin and a shot. Left short off the front of the rim by Max Wars, but he was fouled in the process, and this foul will be whistled against Devin Graber of Barr-Reeve, and that'll send Wars to the free throw line with 2 free throws.
Well, that was a good set play. They got the ball low in the block, and let's see if they can get a couple points here and start getting back in this contest here.
On the season, Max Wars 2 of 4 from the free throw line, and now he's 2 for 5 after he misses this first opportunity. The 6'3 senior Max Wars. He had 8 points earlier today in their loss against Shenandoah. Second one on the way is good. Trickled it in there. 3 points in the game for Wars, and it's 41-20.
Just straight man-to-man by Blackford. They tried a 1-2-2 in the first half. They tried a 1-3-1 half-court trap. Pretty much Barr-Reeve found an answer to every defense they threw at him.
Hope holding the ball between the circles here with 45 seconds expired in the third quarter. Here's a lob to Hope. They threw it over his head, out of bounds. That ball was too high for Kurt Hope, and that is a turnover for the Barr-Reeve Vikings. It is their 7th turnover of the game.
Landon Grimes did a good job fronting Hope and making that pass tougher, and just couldn't drop it in there.
Well, that's what we were talking about at halftime. It's 7 turnovers for Barr-Reeve, but it's a dead ball turnover. At least you can get back and set your defense. And here's, speaking of turnovers, 8th turnover of the game for Blackford.
Yeah, just trying to create too much.
Hope on the block. They'll run a double team at him. He'll kick it out for a 3 straight away. Yes, sir. It's a triple for the Barr-Reeve Vikings. Graber burying that one to make it 44-20.
Caden Graber on that one, the 6'1 junior.
Second made 3 for Caden Graber. He and Bryson Graber, brothers. Caden the junior, Bryson the senior. Here's the three, left side. This one trickles off the back of the rim, lost out of bounds, and they say last touch by Barr-Reeve. Luke Brown pulled the trigger deep left wing, but couldn't get it to go. Even Brown's misses look pretty. They settle so softly on the rim, even when he misses.
I expected that to roll in, quite frankly. I thought, that's short, but he's got a shooter's touch. He's got that roll.
Here's Brown with a basketball here. Wars now between the leg dribble. Lost it for a moment, but got it back. Drive and a wild left-handed layup is missed by Jack Wars. And here comes the Vikings of Barr-Reeve.
They just don't take bad shots, Rob. You see most teams would, after a transition like that, they'd get a bad shot up or take one at least. They just pull it back out and run their offense.
Big reason why they shoot 52% as a team from the floor. They take high-quality shots. That's a high-quality shot just missed by Hayden Knepp. And Blackford has the rebound. 5:30 to play here in the third quarter.
I get Luke Brown the ball somehow. I get some touch. He's just being guarded one-on-one by Hagen Knepp, and Hagen's doing a good job on him.
Here he is. He'll drive and kick, however, for a three. That three is missed by Jack Wars and rebounded by the Barr-Reeve Vikings. Barr-Reeve got out-rebounded by 7 earlier today.
Blackford can do that to you. Or I'm sorry, Blackhawk can do that to you.
Yeah, they crush people on the glass.
Yeah, we've got a great one coming up tonight after this one.
It's our championship game between Fort Wayne Blackhawk and Shenandoah. They'll play for the championship. Hope for the three, right wing. Oh, he can do it all. Kurt Hope, 3 more. He's got 19 points.
Well, he is looking really sharp tonight, and I'm not saying Blackford's not trying to guard him. That was a pretty contested shot out there.
47-20. This was an 11-10 game in the first quarter. Brown to the rim, and he's fouled, and I think Hope is the one who got him.
He did.
Luke Brown will be going to the free throw line, and it is Kurt Hope who's called for the foul. It was 11-10 late in the first quarter before a 7-0 scoring run was put on by Barr-Reeve to give them an 18-10 lead at the end of the first quarter. They have not looked back since. As Brown makes the first free throw, he has 16 points. Against a 33-point average. Kidwell subbing in. Jamison Miller as well for Barr-Reeve. Miller wears 24. Kidwell wears number 40. Luke Brown made both free throws. 47-22, Barr-Reeve leads.
Four out, one in again, trying to isolate. There's the lob.
Oh, we're going to have a push-off. This is an offensive foul as Hope was fighting for a low post position. He pushed off on the defender, and Kurt Hope just picked up his third foul.
I can live with that foul if I'm a coach because he did a really good job of holding off. I couldn't see it as close as Dan Morgan, the official on the call, and Dan likes big man play. Dan is a big man. So when I say that, though, Dan does let him play in there, but obviously he saw some kind of a hook or just a hold off there and drew the offensive foul.
That brings Tyson Knepp, the 6'2 senior, in off of the bench. So the big man for the Barr-Reeve Vikings on the bench with 3 fouls. And a near steal, and it was stolen by Graber, but he threw it right back. Right back to Wars. Luke Brown, step back 3 from the right wing, left it short, loose on the floor, and it'll be gobbled up by Caden Graber. There's Bryson Graber. He wears 22.
Got such a great handle. 3-year starter. Actually, I know he plays as a freshman, too. I know he's a 3-year starter for Barr-Reeve.
How about this three from Thomas Kidwell? His second made 3 of the ball game. And a timeout taken with the lead now expanded to 50-22 in favor of Barr-Reeve.
30-second timeout.
Boy, they just have so many shooters. The Vikings. That game earlier today, their loss to Fort Wayne Blackhawk Christian, they made 14 threes. They were 14 of 28.
Yeah, they were raining threes today, and that's always been a quality they've always had in this program before Josh Thompson was there. when Brian Hughes was the coach. They've always had good outside shooters, just solid, fundamentally sound shooters. You take a look at Josh Thompson talking in his huddle. Josh came from Vincennes Lincoln, had coached there a couple years, also was a head coach several other schools before he got there. Started at Springs Valley, where Larry Bird played. He was not coaching when Larry Bird played, but he started at Springs Valley. It's at Wood Memorial High School, coached there for a number of years, and he's found a home here at Barr-Reeve. They've got a great program. They just have a brand new gym that opened up this season. They won the opening game in that new gym against Bloomington South. Quite a win for their program. Not a tremendous team Bloomington South has this year compared to past years, but still a very good team. They're in the finals of the Wabash Valley tournament tonight over in Terre Haute, matter of fact.
50-22, Barr-Reeve leading. Josh Thompson in his 14th season as a head coach. Barr-Reeve has made 10 threes here in this game. Luke Brown, speaking of threes, that one bangs in and out.
Boy,
would
that was
not
a
stay
good look.
down.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That was a good look.
Rebounded there by Tyson Knepp, and Vikings have the ball again as we near the 3-minute mark in this third-place game. Ten made threes for Barr-Reeve. 30 of their points have come from the long line.
Just running some offense now. They're being real patient. They've got a group out there that are just taking to try to get inside the paint like they did there. Missed it, but a good look.
Little floater missed by Jamison Miller from about 8 feet straight away. Luke Brown going to the right baseline. He jumps in the air and then has the ball knocked away from him, but out of bounds. Blackford retains the possession.
Not sure where he was going to throw that ball. Pretty much all four of his teammates were just kind of in concrete, just kind of holding their hand up, and I'm not sure any of them had really a passing lane open.
Blackford subbing with Dane Baker, the 6-foot senior, number 20, and Scott Winger, the 6'2 junior, number 34, now into the game for the Bruins. And they just turned it over. 8 turnovers in the game by my count by Blackford.
Remember what I said earlier, a bad shot's better than no shot. At least that was a dead ball turnover they had. At least they got a chance to set their defense up. But, yeah, they've just had too many turnovers to beat a really good Barr-Reeve team.
3 from the left wing. This one is finally missed. Barr-Reeve is human. They actually missed threes. Thomas Kidwell, and then a foul called on the rebound. That'll be the 4th team foul against Barr-Reeve. Well, speaking of coaches, we were talking about Josh Thompson a minute ago. What about Grant Newland, the head coach at Blackford? His first season, because the veteran Jerry Hoover, who was going to coach the team, had to step to the sidelines because of COVID-19 concerns this year.
Yeah, and boy, he left him a good squad. Obviously 6-1.
Yeah, he didn't leave him a bare cupboard, did he? Coach Hoover, nice enough to say, hey, here's a really talented team with one of the best scorers in the state. Why don't you take him for this season?
Yeah, they just can't get any good, clean looks in this game tonight. I think the fatigue of how hard they played in that first game today to lose 74-73 in overtime to Shenandoah has really worn them out more than Barr-Reeve.
2 missed threes in a row by Barr-Reeve. Will they make it 3? Of course not. They're too good when it comes to shooting the triple. Thomas Kidwell has 9 points in the game.
Just patient, and again, Blackford gave him too many opportunities.
Brown gets all the way to the basket. The teardrop, it is a beauty. Luke Brown's got 19 points. Kidwell says, why not? He misses that one, however, and that ball is lost out of bounds. Last touched by Knepp of Barr-Reeve.
May have been a little faster than what Coach Thompson was wanting a shot, but, you know, when you've got a lead of 29 points, you kind of get your guard down a little bit and maybe get out of what you know you should be doing.
I think they call that a heat check, Coach. Mickey Waters, number 30 for Blackford, into the game for the first time tonight, as he subbed in at that last dead ball. Luke Brown gets an offensive rebound and a putback. Brown scoring from all 3 levels now.
Yeah, they need to have the ball in his hands even more than what we've seen tonight. I mean, he doesn't turn it over very often. Normally when it does, it's usually because he's trying to create a little bit too much for his teammates. But, you know, going forward, he's got to have the ball in his hands even more than what he normally does. That's going to be a foul.
It was a heady play there by the Blackford defender. He thought he could jump out in front of that cross-court pass and come away with a steal.
Yeah, he didn't have his left hand out, and that's typically what happens. He had a good read on it, but you got to keep that outside hand out so you don't run over the player and make contact, and he tried to win forward with the inside hand.
That foul on Dawson Hundley. 2 team fouls on Blackford. They only committed 3 team fouls in the first half. We're at 7 seconds to play in the third quarter as this three is missed in the corner by Graber, but an offensive rebound bucket is going to count on the final play of quarter number 3. That was Bryson Graber cleaning up the mess on the missed shot by his brother Caden. And it takes us to the end of quarter number 3. 55-26, Barr-Reeve leads Blackford. You're watching the 2020 Boys Raymond James Hall of Fame Classic on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
13,000 feet has a way of testing a man's soul. After all, you were never meant to take on such an endeavor. That long drop is what separates human from superhuman. And here we are, right here, right now.
You're good at motivation, we're good at your insurance. Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.
Well, a chance to see the Barr-Reeve Vikings, the #1 ranked team in Class A basketball tonight. My first chance to see them live and in person. Coach, I know you saw them last week against Carmel. To be fair, I haven't seen all of the Class A teams, obviously, in the state of Indiana, but I have a hard time believing there are going to be a lot of teams in Class A basketball that can challenge Barr-Reeve this season. They have a ton of skill that they can put out on the floor.
Well, they've got a bullseye on their back every game they play. They've, over the last 15 years, their record, I think, is #1 in the state when it comes to win-losses. And they always have to play their A game because they're going to get the best games from their opponents. That being said, though, they're going to be a really tough out because they've got usually 3 really good shooters on the floor, along with an outstanding point guard and an outstanding big man, and he checked in at the end of the quarter break, that being Kurt Hope.
Hope in this game has 19 points, and he's been on the bench a bit because of foul trouble. 3 fouls, but even in his limited action, he's been able to score the ball at a high clip. Dane Baker missing a 3 there for Blackford. Baker, the 6-foot senior. 30 seconds expired here in the fourth quarter.
ISO. Yep, let him go to his left side.
And he's fouled en route. Put the ball on the floor and tried to go straight line drive, but progress was cut off, but it's a foul.
You know, watching Kurt Hope play, he doesn't really go straight line very often. He likes to use that body and kind of pound it in there. Like right there, he should be open for a lob over the middle. There we go. Hagen.
Catch and a layup. It wasn't Hope, but
Hagen
it's
Knepp.
the same play.
Yeah.
Hagen Knepp, who cashes in for his 10th point of the night. 57-26 now. Only 26 points in this game for Blackford after scoring 73 in the semifinal game earlier in the day. Brown, shot fake, now leans to his right, banks it home. Tough shot. Well done by Luke Brown.
Tough shot, but a good shot. Got a good ball fake there.
23 in the game for Luke Brown. Averages 33 a game. Also averages 2 steals, 6.5 assists per game. Barr-Reeve very patient now. They have the clock on their side, leading by 29 points here in Newcastle. Hope will shoot a 3 on a catch and shoot. Blackford rebounding. Brown wants to go to work. Inside out dribble with the right hand, and he draws the contact. 2 free throws coming here after the foul against Hagen Knepp.
I think he's got to touch it every time. If I'm thinking as a head coach of this team, he's got to have the ball in his hands every time.
Luke Brown with 23 points. He has not missed a free throw tonight. That continues. And the game now 8 for 8 from the free throw line.
I think he's almost up to 97% on the season. 96 coming into this tournament.
He is a lot of fun to watch. A pure scorer at all three levels, I should say. Here's Hope. He's going to try to lay it in, and he will, and he's going to be fouled in the process. An and one opportunity coming here for Kurt Hope.
Yeah, no defensive rotation there by Blackford on the baseline side.
Out whistled against Blackford's Luke
There's
Brown.
a good look. You see he gets a chance to get his balance and just gets smacked by Luke on the shot.
22 in the game for Kurt Hope against a 20-point average. 19.9 to be exact.
Oh, good ball move. Good ball
block
fake.
from behind, however. Good move, and that shot ended up getting blocked from behind. Graber all the way in traffic, and he's fouled. That's Caden Graber. And they're going to give him 2 free throws here, as they say he was attempting a right-handed layup once he got into traffic.
He's had a really good day. Normally a 6-man coming off the bench, but he getting the start tonight. He had 16 in the morning game, or I should say afternoon game. Has a chance here to get it up to, he's got 7 now.
That last foul was on Dane Baker, his first. Both teams have committed 5 second-half fouls.
Got them both. He's up to 8. He came in the tournament this morning averaging only 3.2 on the season. So this is going to bump his average up pretty nice with the 16 and 8 already.
And he's helped give his team a 32-point lead, 62-30. It's been all Barr-Reeve here tonight in Newcastle. Here's a spin and a shot, no good. And a block shot in the interior. Who was that?
Hagen
Boy,
Knepp.
that was, Knepp who got up there, the 6'4 junior.
Yeah, he's got some hops. I've seen him block some shots in other games this year.
Deep shot for Luke Brown. Wow. He was on the logo, basically, at midcourt. This guy is fun to watch. Hope kicks it out. Knepp will shoot a 3, and he will hang one home. Well done there. How about Hagen Knepp? That's his third made 3 of the game. He's got 13 points.
Been a busy guy. Pretty much he's guarded Luke Brown most of the game. Right now he's getting a break, I guess you'd say, guarding another player, as they put Bryson Graber on him right now.
And here he is, Luke Brown against Graber. Crossover dribble.
Oh, good flash to the basket, but his teammate didn't pass it to him.
Nearing the 4-minute mark here of the fourth quarter as Brown wants to drive. Got to the rim, lays it up over the front of the rim and scores 2 more. Luke Brown. 30 points in the game I have him for.
I do too.
Well, good, because your math is much better than mine. 30-point lead, however, for the Barr-Reeve Vikings. And speaking of scoring in bunches, Kurt Hope has 2 more. 24 in the game for Hope.
Oh, got a little bit sloppy there, but Luke came up with it.
Deep 3 for Luke Brown. Man, this guy. Not only does he make that shot, but Bryson Graber just looks up at the sky as if to say, what am I supposed to do? I can't guard that. No one can. Timeout, Barr-Reeve, with the game now clearly out of hand at 67-38. Reid Thompson, a junior, is going to sub in here, number 32. He has not played tonight, but he's coming in for Barr-Reeve. How about that last shot by Luke Brown to give him 33 points in the game?
He's done it pretty quietly. Like I said, I'm encouraging him to even get more shots up if he can.
Coach, he's scored 33 of their 38. I mean, I don't care what level of basketball you pay close attention to, you just don't see that. You see guys score 30 points a game, sure. But the rest of their team only gives them 5, 6, 7 points? No way.
Well, that's where they've been so successful in their first 6 wins on the season. Landon Grimes has 2 tonight. He averages 16.5. Good. Jack Ward's hadn't scored tonight. He averages 13.5. So the complimentary players that around Luke Brown just having a tough night tonight. You've got Max Wertz with 3 and Grimes with 2, and that is it. That's pretty amazing.
67-38, 3:14 to go in a game. Barr-Reeve about to move to 7-2. They will split their 2 games here on this particular day in Newcastle. Blackford's going to fall to 6-2. After coming here at 6-0, they'll lose both games. Kidwell shoots another 3. Why not? He's had a hot hand today. He's made 3 of them. And that one trickles off the weak side of the rim. Rebounded by Hof.
Just can't get even the good looks to go.
Right, that was a good look, and now a foul. As aggressively going to the basket was Bryson Graber, and he's going to have an opportunity at 2 free throws. Bryson has 4 points in the game, the senior. He's only a 64% free throw shooter on the year, but he makes that first one look easy. Don't forget, stick around, because coming up here, Fort Wayne Blackhawk and Shenandoah on IHSAATV.org. It's the championship of the Raymond James Hall of Fame Classic.
Christian Smith checked in and got the offensive rebound.
Yeah, some guys that don't play a bunch are into the game now. Nick Schwarzenruber, make sure I pronounce that correctly, number 52, a junior, in for Barr-Reeve. Here's a 3 in the corner, missed. And rebounded by Schwarzenruber. And he's got a run out here to a teammate, and that layup is no good.
Smith with the rebound and missed that one too. He had 2 good looks at it.
Yes, he did.
Going to try to get him a third. Fell away from it. He fell back.
Well, he aggressively went to the basket, just couldn't be rewarded. The 6'4 junior Christian Smith. Here's a 3 at the other end.
Jack Ward's 6'3 freshman, his first basket of the contest, and pretty much every starter now out of the game for both teams. Get a little experience for some younger kids to play on this historic court here in Newcastle.
Carson Smith is number 0 into the game for Blackford. Number 4, Ethan Morris in. Also for Blackford, as you said, both teams, both coaches now starting to empty the bench. 68-41, Barr-Reeve the lead in the ball. Reid Thompson, 32, is into the game as well for Barr-Reeve as that shot trickles off for Bryson Graber. Here's a transition 3 for Wars. Nope.
It was actually Will Craig on that last
look.
Oh,
gotcha. Will Craig.
Barr-Reeve, yeah.
Oh, on the I got you for Barr-Reeve, yep. Here's a shot blocked. As now some of the guys that play off the bench, some of the JV guys getting some run here.
Yeah, the only starter still in the game right now is Jackson Wars, and he's a freshman, so I think coach is just letting him get some minutes with some of his classmates, the younger guys here.
Wars has played a lot for him this year. Starter as a freshman, averaged 13 points a game. Here's a deep 3. We were just talking about him.
Well, he is the best player probably on the floor when it comes to experience-wise, and he took advantage of that and scored the 3.
2 threes in a row for Jack Wars. As we're under a minute to go at 68-44, Barr-Reeve takes a timeout only because they want a sub. Barr-Reeve wanted to get into the game. Number 14, Carson Boyd, a 5'10 sophomore. That's why Josh Thompson called the timeout, just to sub him in. Aaron Wagler in the game, a junior for Barr-Reeve, wearing number 12. Schwarzenruber on the drive, and the kick, and it's a 3.
Reid Thompson with his first basket of the contest here in the fourth quarter.
The 6'1 junior, Reid Thompson. Wars shoots and misses, got his own following in. Jack Wars is going to have a nice little stat line here at the end of the game. He has 8 points. He scored 8 in a row. 71-46, Barr-Reeve leading. 3 on the way is missed. Taken there by Carson Boyd, and a foul in transition. That will be the 6th team foul on Barr-Reeve. With the clock stopped at 16 seconds to play, I can see Barr-Reeve's coach Josh Thompson yelling now at his team, if we get the ball back, do not shoot. Do not shoot.
Well, I know they're disappointed that they didn't win the first game, but they've come out tonight and really bounced back strong.
Wars spinning, shooting from 12 feet away and missing, and that will seal the deal because, as I told you a moment ago, Barr-Reeve's head coach has already given the instructions. There will be no more shots taken in this game. This one goes final. Barr-Reeve improves to 7-2 on the season as they have beaten the Blackford Bruins 71-46. 24 points out of Kurt Hof, a big difference maker in this one for the Vikings, who also got 13 out of Hagen Knepp and 9 from Jamison Miller off of the bench. Barr-Reeve wins at 71-46. That is the final score. Coming up here in just a bit, stay close to IHSAATV.org because we'll have the championship game of this Raymond James Hall of Fame Classic between the number 1 team in Class 2A basketball, the Fort Wayne Blackhawk Christian Braves, taking on the number 5 team in the 2A polls, the Shenandoah Raiders. You've been watching the 2020 Boys Raymond James Hall of Fame Classic on the IHSAA Champions Network. For our producer, Heath Shanahan, and my broadcast partner, Pete Smith, I'm Rob Blackman. Hope you've enjoyed it. It's been presented, as always, by Indiana